Okay, here we go with another game. This is a ranked match. I think I was silver 3 and he was gold 1, and this is for gold placement. Um, and yeah, it's a pretty good match. This is just a replay. It isn't the match as begins. So as our starting positions, he's got a close berries. His stone's pretty far, and his gold isn't even visible, which is fortunate for him. And for my layout, I also have a far stone, pretty close gold, and then just set up next to the wood line. So I think his layout was a little bit worse than mine. And yeah, he's got 6 on berries, 1 on wood, and I started scouting the map. I've got getting 5 on wood to get out an early pasture, and just cranking out my villagers on there. My villager from the Ubu comes over to the sheep. He's also scouting. Sorry, and getting a second scout out right now. I also had my second scout out already. So you got a good, I think you ended up picking up more sheep than I did actually. My con kind of had a bad run of it. Yeah, Mongolian heights. So there's a lot of sheep. So it's almost always worth the second scout, just to kind of help your wood eco a little early on. So there's a few on the edges. Not nothing back there. Bumped into him over there, so I turned around. There's a few on this backside. There's a few there. Okay. So it's actually pretty even. Building his House of Wisdom, and he's starting to scout my base a little. He's got on the backside. I just figure all the sheep on his base have been picked up, so I'm just kind of scouting the perimeters more than anything. Dropped a pasture. Now I've got enough to build a gur for my gold. And then I like to build up a little bit more because it's a remote gold, enough to get an outpost. So he's scouted back here. He's got 6 sheep there. And 6 sheep there. He's got 12 sheep. So yeah, he had a good haul there of sheep for sure. So he's getting ready to age up here soon. So he needs 200 more food. And I'm still a bit off. And yeah, he hasn't spotted my map yet, or my base yet. And we'll speed it up a little bit past this early scouting. So working my way up, and he is going to edge up with the culture wing. Huh. Okay, that's interesting. Reducing tech upgrades. That's definitely not your favorable one, I believe. You want to go with eco wing and military. Anywho, I'm aging up now with deer stones. And yeah, just kind of standard build him. I'm just working my way up now. I was kind of set on doing the Mangadai Russian. He's got birds. Now that I've up, I'm dropping a high train, building some forward towers against some early pressure. And military. There's no how many military. Nice. So I killed a couple of villagers here. Let's slow it down again. There's some action, but I took out a couple of villagers here, and let's see. I got a scout on the back on a stone just to check for when he might go for a second TC. And kind of raiding here. See, he's got some archers. So he's already up again. I wonder if he's going to. He does. He ages up immediately. Military wing. Okay, so super contrary to what most people do. And I got another forward post. And she's got a bunch on 19 on food, 7 on wood, 14 on food, 10. And I'm kind of picking out some guys here and there. Getting a villager here and there. Stop the house from going on. So he's not popped back though. And then I got a nice little pickup here. I got a couple. Down here. Get a scout and get another archer. And this outpost is a huge pain to me the whole game. I think it takes me the whole game to actually burn it down. I don't even know if I actually did. That's kind of my fault for not staying there and fighting those 2 archers. It probably wouldn't worth. So yeah, he's just kind of cranking out some units here and there. And I've got kind of a pathway here of YAM network with my towers. And I'm building a proxy archery range. I have 3 at base. I'm trying to keep them going constantly. Yeah, it's going a little bit rough. I'm trying to keep them go constantly. I almost couldn't. Really. Kept running out of food. Kind of sloppy macro here. You know, I've got a bunch of wood. I could be building stuff. And I wish I could see my pop and so I kind of harass him here and there in terms of his goals, but there wasn't much I could do. He was being really good and being attentive there. And honestly, after I got him off those berries, I thought he would transition to berries somewhere, and I didn't realize he had so many sheep. I was wondering where he was getting his food from. I totally forgot he had like 20 sheep. So it makes a lot more sense in how he was able to maintain his base safely with those sheep. There was scouting fort. Okay, sorry about that. So, surreal map all. And yeah, he still got plenty of food production. His income is still doing really good on food. His gold production has dropped off a little bit. But he's still got enough to work with. I'm still kind of slacking on my infrastructure. I built some forward towers here. And since his castle actually starts poking on mana bars, good move. I gotta kind of start harassing with those towers. And in general, I've done an okay job in harassing him, slowing him down a little bit. And I'm still building my proxy base up here. And, you know, I'm slowing down his gold income, but it's costing me my con, and it's going to keep costing Mangadai. And he pays attention. He does a good job paying attention. And he had 14 villagers. This is my king over here. He's sending them all on the road. These guys pull off. I've got a bunch of. I had a bunch of wood stored up, so I'm starting to get that rolled out, which is good. Let's gonna start running out of stuff here. And he's doing a good job of handling all this pressure and building his forces up. Lost a few villagers, but it's not by any means. But I keep building up these towers to kind of give vision on him. And here I'm going around because I forgot that he had a sheep. And I could have kept harassing his gold income here this whole time, which would have been much better. But I was worried maybe he'd set up a wood camp I'm trying to get some food from other parts. I didn't realize he still had sheep carcasses. He still has 2 live sheep. Next, I still have a little bit of Mangadai here to do some raiding on his wood. A couple of villages for Mangadai, kind of worth it. The big thing is that his production is what starts dropping off. That kind of keeps him. That's what basically keeps me on par with him in this game. And then finally, I'm able to start taking out his gold villagers because he's distracted up here. So he loses 3 villagers, and he's back on that wood line. And at this point, I realize he's got men-at-arms, and I'm not going to be able to keep up with him in the feudal age. So I'm going to start banking food. Yeah, so there we go. I just banked up for Castle Age. I should, yeah, there we go. I'm aging up because I wasn't going to be able to keep up the pressure with those units. I was just going to start losing a ton of Mangadai. Once they're hardened, they get a lot more sturdy and are able to do raids on their towers a lot. He's finally got his ram up, and he's going to town on his wood right now, unfortunately, and his gold is dropped off to just 2 guys, thankfully for me. And I built 2 towers up here to keep him off this wood line. I'm building another one up here to kind of get at that wood line. At this point, I see him taking it down. I've got basically no military. And now, unfortunately, these guys are shooting the tower. And I'm just kind of aging up and waiting for my gold, really. I'm working on my infrastructure here at my base. So I see him rams, and his rams coming up, and I figured I'm not going to be able to hold this here. So I'm going to set up a kind of a proxy side base here with some calves, so I can do cav raids. And I was kind of hoping it was going to be just side enough that he wasn't going to be able to see it. And he did not actually spot this until much later. So these Mangadai get some decent kills, villagers, and take out a few archers. It's kind of, at the same time, he's pushing hard here. So I needlessly lost a couple Mangadai, and I'm pretty sure I reset my rally point again and pulled back my column there, and I've kind of shut down this wood line. We've got a bunch of idle villagers. They're gonna probably go to wood, I'm guessing. Yeah, so you realize these forces to kind of hold me off here. He's cleaning up this front base. Probably should have canceled this. I think it's less resources on my part. And yeah, still building proxy stables over here. Because I'm aging up, well, I'm aged up, so I want to be able to build knights. And I am building a knight. Yeah, I'm going to drop in my Uvu up here too, for some double production. So he's pushing forward with 24 units, one of which is a ram. And it's a pretty beefy army. Behind that 24, another 9, so 3, so 12, so 36 army he's pushing forward. Half his pop is an army. Which is pretty good. He's pop capped, thankfully for me. And I'm just kind of pulling back, letting him take out my 4 towers. Kind of waiting for this pressure to build up here, so I can do something here. And he's up on this berry line. This is where, man, I wish I'd rotated these Mangadais a little earlier. But it is what it is. So I see he's pushing up. I know there's some basically nothing in my base to defend, so I know he's gonna go over my military production because it's pretty good. And thankfully he does. I have time to drop a couple outposts here, kind of defend myself. And I spot that he's got his villagers here. Fortunately, lose a lot of kill time on this click because I clicked on my mini-map. This guy's still idle. And he's pushing hard here, and then he realizes that I've got a force kind of messing up his food eco. His wood eco's dropped off hard, and his food eco's getting messed up. I'm rallying a little bit here what I can, dropping towers. I'm upgrading them to spring-old towers. I'm going to try to hold as best as I can. I also knew that I couldn't, I mean, it's not a lot of Mangadai, but I was going to need to keep skirmishing. And I also bring in these horses to start taking out this base. I know that this line is shut down. He still has another one. I can start taking out some infrastructure and start getting some production from those units. I pull my blacksmith out. I kind of want to save that. It is very useful to keep your units going. So clean out his gold, and he sends up one lone man-at-arms. He's got 8 guys on wood, and once again, he's got these guys up on the forward gear. He's kind of pushing here, and he's getting kind of distracted by me doing stuff. He's bringing that ram army back, and these two springles are kind of able to help me put off there. I'm just building an outpost here, get the speed buff for these guys. And these guys really should be hitting that lumber camp. I kind of missed my. I pull out from here. I was checking the bears. He had an army waiting for me. Unfortunately, I didn't wrap around the side there. I knew that this lumber was shut down, so I figured he's chopping over here. So I sent here what I can see. Taking out my blacksmith. So I just kind of try to save it. It's just too late. It took too long to do it. I got 3 spots here, which is going to help a lot on this defense. Once again, shut down his wood production. His gold is at 0 again. He's got 500 food production going. He's just kind of suffering. And yeah, his food production is really stable. So here, you know, I'm trying to find where his villages are. Pull out here. I should have gone to the food over side. He's pushing me hard here. So pull back my villagers. Cancel this tower. Yeah, pretty sure cancel that tower. I was kind of pushing him on the other side of the map, so I was going to get this. I just lose a ton of villagers. Absolute ton of villagers. So I'm over here hitting. He got scared and pulled these guys off. I think I keep looking. These guys are going to raid again that wood line at the same time. Taking out the food eco here. I found him doing this gear, so I was happy there. He's raiding me hard here. He takes down the tower. Do a bunch of damage to that ram, and I'm kind of able to hold him because he's getting no health. But I've lost a ton of eco. So he's at 19 eco, and I'm at 25 eco. So I got like a 6 minute. We killed off a whole bunch of guys. My income has dropped off completely. His income is still dropped off. A big difference is our gold income. Our current resources is still high. I haven't built a market yet, unfortunately. That would have been, I guess, helpful. Kind of balancing out some of this stuff. So I'm building a couple more stables up here. She still hasn't noticed my proxy stables, so I did a pretty good job raiding. So I keep making. I'm gonna make some more. They died unfortunately in that raid. I was migrating elsewhere and I couldn't keep them alive. And I'm gonna drop a couple more archery ranges. And I'm moving up to this mode of gold. But he's still off of gold. Getting gunstone. Trying to get more cav units up, I believe. And yeah, everybody's on wood right now. So he can't produce. The army he's got is the army, which is good for him because he's massing up a ton of wood, and it looks like he's gonna start getting a second TC, which he does eventually. So I'm coming in with another raid here. I wanted to get some easy go, but he defended this gold up here. I probably should have ran through. He's walling down here on his part. I'm just doing basically nothing up there. And mining up here, dropping a tower just in case. I didn't think he was going to find me. I was going to be able to keep enough pressure, so I didn't dedicate a bunch of towers to protect all the villagers. The spearman, I'm able to snipe, I think one, yeah. And then I come over here to raid from this side. He does have an army set up, and he's setting up walls here. So he does a really good play. There's that wall. What he's really messing up is just way over collecting wood. He could be dedicating a few of them to something else. And there he is. He's dedicating something to that eco, get some safe food eco going. I'm cranking out units. I'm barely able to, you know, both of our food is just absolutely crippled right now. My gold is doing really good though, which is big. Gold does come in handy a lot. I'm going over here trying to getting some eco by raiding these farms, these outlier farms. And this is that tower that I never get to drop. Got a decent army. You know, he really doesn't have to let me do this, but I think he's busy microing other stuff. And I'm kind of surprised he's still so heavy on wood. Yeah, so he's making some more farms, trying to balance out his eco. He's harvesting the last berry bush. There's not a lot of food left in it, 20 food. I'm still here. I've got my manga dye. I've built towers here to kind of get good line of sight. I've got my 4 proxy base. He has seen that base on the front, and I'm kind of getting a good on the side of him here. And I've got more archeries back here. And now I'm up to 36 eco, and he is up to 27. So I've got a big eco lead right now. And this kind of gap in the eco is kind of what let me pull ahead far enough to where he was no longer able to raids on me, and he just kind of started to run back. That being said, he's got a army key, I believe. I see him drop this TC here, and man, if I had just a couple more knights and a couple seconds earlier, I could have burnt that down. That would have been really big. But he's gonna have to pull out of there. He's got a ton of crossbow. He's gonna absolutely shred me. So I see he's got another TC, and I know that I've got to press hard now and keep him off his food, because he's gonna start pumping out villagers and he's gonna overtake me if I don't start raiding hard. So I did lose my blacksmith down there during that ram push. I haven't really made more towers, just got pastures, still have 3 gurs here. Kind of stabilizing my eco, and yeah, I'm just building a bunch of knights over here, and I'm building this blacksmith. These guys kind of make a hole, and taking on one guy over here. Tower is not upgraded, but his archers were able to take out a couple more knights there. So I'm just barely cranking out manga dye, still trickle manga dye, still trickle knights. I've got a decent amount of knights here now. My military is 15. His military is 33, and his eco is 32, amping up, and I'm 42, so I still have a 10 difference lead here, which is pretty. Rebuilds that wall that I've burnt down, and I'm building a prayer tent, so relics. Might as well. I have map control, so I want to start collecting relics as much as I could. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. I see his, I'm pretty sure I see his. So I've got a pretty good encompass here of his base, and at this point I also knew that he's definitely not getting food from elsewhere. So he must be getting a farm eco going, and I've just got, you know, a bunch of lances and a bunch of manga dye. And, you know, I've got a decent knights this year, 16 knights. And I'm coming across the raid. I don't have a lot of manga dye, I've got 4, 6. So I'm kind of getting pressure here. And I do see his army pulling over, so I come over here to try to snipe a couple of villagers. I think he saw me. So I pull out here. I thought I could sneak through this line right here. And I'm pretty sure I was able to, yeah, I was able to sneak through. His army's over here. I've moved. And I'm going back. I figured his army's coming through with my Mangadai. So roll over here. I know we got a free kill on this villager. I'm pretty sure I rolled up to his gold mine. So we got a monk who's not doing anything. I'm dropping more proxy archery ranges up here. And yeah, I come over here, I see that he's garrisoned, and unfortunately I burned through here, and I should have positioned my units. I get greedy and try to burn down his stone wall before he can build it, and I thought I could do it with that many knights. I really thought I could with that many knights if I build one worker, but it turns out you cannot. So he officially shuts down this backfill that I had, which is big, and honestly, if he had continued walling, it would have been big. So I could get a bunch of villagers here, and I just moved my knights around to the side. And now I gotta start popping holes to his other defenses. Kind of miss Michael here, lose my Kong, lose a few Mangadai, 3, 4, 5. 5 Mangadai, so there's a bunch of Mangadai, but I'm burning down here. Stable's, you know, producing a little bit. Now he's up to 40 eco, and I'm up to 47. So I'm maintaining kind of that difference, which is big. Because he's on 2 TC. So I kind of bump into his units that were chasing me here. I got a nice Mangadai block here, 14. I can do some raiding. I see his spearman kind of in a weird heading. So I take my knights, I've pulled on my back, and I can come around and start hitting infrastructure while he'll be kind of stuck. Plus the stone upgrade on this outpost, it is so tanky now. I don't know why I thought I could break it down, especially if it's a really bad mistake from my part. I should just be raiding straight to the farm. So yeah, this is a big mistake. Don't do this. But I got a ton of villagers here. Go is just dropping. And he's an income per minute is really expecting to do that. So I've lost like 6-7 knights. So I just pull out of there, realize it's not really working, but armor showing up. And I come in through here, and yeah, he's stacking in with 38, 35. He's almost back down to 30 eco. Yeah, he's suffering a lot here. His military units are getting pumped out here, getting picked off, getting made. Still making knights. This is going good. I got plenty of pastures. I did finally build a market. And got one relic, my monk is collecting the rest. And his farming equals garrison. I'm really stubborn. I'm really stubborn about this outpost. Absolutely terrible idea to I recommend. Do not do that. So he's got almost no vision of me. You can see a couple of the Mangadai here and there. And yeah, his eco's back up to 37. That's how crazy. You know, it's nice having double TC. You can crank up villagers. It's really helpful. So once again, he's stuck in this weird limbo where everybody's just on. He has a ton of stone banked up. If he had built stone walls, it would have been, and would have required me to build siege workshops a lot sooner. Now I've got a really strong proxy base. About to get my second round. Taking the fight here. He's only got a couple crossbowmen, one spearman. He's bringing over more units. I pulled out, and then I thought I saw these villagers. I must have missed those. Oh, I had them grouped with these guys. That's what. So I take these guys and I come through there. Here, and while I'm coming through there, I think I send those knights to that tower again. So once again, he's forced to garrison a bunch of units, and he's losing again a bunch of eco. So he's right back down to 35 eco to where he was. Meanwhile, these guys are coming in. I'm trying to burn some houses. Trying to get some money generated that way. I've got knights there, I got Mangadai. Just kind of a slow trickle of troops. just constantly being pumped out. This is really how I enjoy playing Mongols. It's just a cavalry-based raiding army. I feel like that's how it should be played, just because I mean that's how the map is. I think it's fun to play this way. And yeah, at this point he's suffering bad. His eco's down to 23 now. So he's worse than he was. He's a lot worse off than he was. And I thought I started making siege workshop, but I guess not yet. But yeah, at this point he's basically been shut down. His push has been shut down. You know, I'm happy here at base, and I'm getting my ecos up to 51, so it's basically stabilized to what it was pre his attack, and his eco is not stabilized yet. It's almost worse than it was when my first raids were happening. So, yeah, I just put on depression. That's kind of what you just have to do. When you're up against towers and stuff, you really shouldn't be here with Mangadai. It's good for the downtime, but it's a tower that's absolutely just killing. So yeah, I'm just producing 10 units. And way overstacked on wood and gold. I could have sworn I dropped a siege works, but maybe I'm wrong. I'm up to 3 relics now. Here's my con again. I saw him rallying archers up here, so I came and took them out. I was hoping to find maybe like he had an army set aside for another raid, but I seem to just be coming in with my knights there. It's just not. Those spring ones do so much damage. Yeah, they do a lot of damage. And his eco's up to 27, but there's just it's gonna be really tough for him to do anything. My eco's up to 55, so now I'm double his eco, and militarily I had 33. He's got a lot now. So at this point, yeah, I think he realized it's definitely over. There's the siege workshop. Yeah, I was gonna go start cranking out the siege. But yeah, there's a game on Mongolian Heights, and just kind of showing that, you know, if you are doing this type of style play, it's really important that you keep the pressure on, and even if he's pushing you, to keep those raids going, because the eco damage that he does, you have to match. Thanks for watching my video, and hope you watch the next one.